Okay, I'm going to talk over the Math 100 guide. Clearly, you clicked on this video over here and you're wondering about the guide. Well, I'm going to click on the guide. This is the Math 100 guide. And what's going to happen is go open up a Dropbox. If you're not a member of Dropbox, just simply say no thank you. You'll still get access to the document free of charge. What I recommend you do is you download the document by clicking this button over here. If your computer is properly configured, it will download it and then open up that PDF file. So now I'm looking at the actual PDF file. This is the PDF file over here. And I just want to outline, I'm not going to certainly read the document to you, but you see there's a contents over here. It's a course guide for Math 100 at Essex County College. There's a section on basic diagnostic review. And then it really kind of starts the course material. I'm just going to briefly go through this section 3 of the notes to give you the kind of structure the course is going to have. So, or I should say the guide for the course is going to have. So I just clicked on 3. It brings you there. It says review for assignments and linear equations. This is typically the first section we start in Math 100. It goes on to say when finished, that is when you're finished with section 3 of the notes, what are the students supposed to do? They're supposed to do a web assignment. And the web assignment at this point in time, the name of it is HW 7.1 General Equations. There's also another mention here what the school likes students to do is, put something into the weekly discussion group. That of sort could be a classroom activity as well. But let me go through the structure of the document. This is a lecture material that it starts off with. It's a short lecture. Typically at the Math 100 level, you don't want to give lectures that are too long. You kind of pinpoint areas that you're discussing, and it should be somewhat familiar to the students. But if you notice on the little side over here, there's a little tiny, look like a TV screen. This is a short video. If you click on this, and students can click on this, by the way, and if you connect to the internet, what happens? A little video opens up, and it's a 24-second video. This video can, of course, be extended, and you can certainly watch a full screen video of that if you want. Just hit the play button. You can also change the speed of it. If you want to watch them quicker or slower, you can change the volume of it, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to close that. I'm not going to play the video. And what I want to do is I want to go back to the PDF document that you just downloaded to your computer. So again, there's, sample material that you'd give for a lecture material with, little videos on the side over there. All right, so, there's lecture material. This is the lecture material. They give you the essential rules for solving a linear equation. Again, little tiny side videos on the side if you need that. A little tiny example to illustrate the points that are being made up here. And then another example, again, to illustrate the points that are being made up here in the lecture. The lecture should take no more than 15 minutes to get through, all right? Now, certainly, most students at this level, the lecture, if you're going beyond 15 minutes, it's going to be tough for the student to follow. What I'm going to claim over here is what you need to get to, though, is you need to start getting to examples where students could say, you know what, I think I could do these on my own. And I'm not opposed to that, by the way. As I'm talking in class, I'm always encouraged by students saying, you know what, let me give this a try. And we would love for them to give this a try. So what do I have? I have, examples to try that, again, illustrate the points that are being made in the lecture. Also, on the side of these things over here, what do you see? You'll see a little tiny video that just addresses problem number 1. Then there'll be another video for problem number 2, so forth and so on. And it goes through a bunch of problems that should be done in classroom, all right? Now, granted, what happens to some students, they work on problems, and then they get to something like 10, they say they can't do it, and they say, teacher, could you do number 10? Yeah, you can do number 10, but the bottom line, you might be on number 7. You'll tell students, wait till I get to 10. But you'll get through all these problems. In a typical lecture period, you'll get through the lecture and you'll get through all the examples. Now, I'm a big believer in students have to do homework. So what I do in the guide, I also publish a guide for homework. Now, you notice in the homework, I don't have videos next to this problem over here. And the reason for that is a homework question. You're expecting students to be able to do that if they've attended lecture and if they've understood the examples that were presented. All right, but there's problems over here that students would be expected to work on their own. All right, there are some videos down here, and I'll tell you why there's some videos down over here. Some students repeatedly ask about question number 8. So what do? I put a little video down there. Again, these videos, you click on them, a little video is going to open up, and that video is 3 minutes and 10 seconds long of me working through that problem at the whiteboard, by the way. So I do it for 9 as well because students had questions about that over there. Okay, so then this is something that it's, even for teachers at Essex, it's overwhelming. Do not go near it if you're not comfortable with this. And also, if you're telling this to your students, make sure they understand it's optional. Sage Math is a computer algebra system, and I think our students should be exposed to a computer algebra system. Although not terribly useful at this level, it's getting their feet wet that's useful, that they start seeing something outside the domain of a piece of paper and pencil. However, this course, Math 100, is a paper and pencil course, and you're expecting students to solve these by paper and pencil. But again, my claim over here is, students, especially the ones that are thinking about moving forward into a STEM-related career, should probably be exposed to this. All right. Then here comes the end of each section. And each section is going to look identical for the most part. You're going to see a series of lectures that are published. Videos that are published. One would be the lecture. Number 2 would be me doing the examples at the whiteboard. Number 3 would be me talking about the Sage math application. And number 4 would be doing these problems at the whiteboard. Let me just click on this link over here. These links over here are going to be different than these side videos over here. These side videos are very short videos. These things are short, but they're not very short. So if you click on, for example, lecture material, let me show you what that looks like. What you're going to come to is a YouTube channel. And over here, it's, it basically, if you want to, you can expand the window. You can play around with the volume of it. You can click the play button. There's controls over here where you can control the playback speed. Maybe it's going too slow for you, play it at double speed. Maybe it's going too fast for you, you can slow the videos down. All right, what else can you do? You can change the quality depending on your internet ability. For example, I'm going to say quality over here, 720p is the highest quality you can go for. Now, some of my videos go, well above 1000p, but if you have a slow internet connection, you have to play it at a much reduced resolution. And you probably should know that by, if your thing is, buffering a lot, you got to go back to a lower resolution, all right? So why don't we go back to the PDF? And again, students have access to these videos if they want to use them. Every section of the notes is pretty much going to look the same. What is it going to be? They'll tell you what to do, like when finished, what you have to do. They'll give a short, simple lecture, again, with little tiny side videos. That's a short, simple lecture. Go through examples with video support for each example in the guide. Then there would be homework. Homework is things that students work on. And again, there's answers being provided to homework, just the work is not there. Nor is there a video there to help them out with that. So then what else you get? You get the related Sage code. What's Sage code? It's basically Sage Math, which is a computer algebra system. And then online videos. And every single section of the notes is going to look the same. All right, let me just go back to the beginning of the document. And again, you can use this document if you like, free of charge. And the sections, if you look at this thing over here, it's a long document, by the way. It takes a full semester at Essex County College to complete this. But, you get, everything's there, all right, including the reviews for the exams. For example, exam number 1, if you click on this over here, there would be review questions for exam number 1. Then there would be answers to the review questions from exam number 1. Everything's self-contained in a document, including information about homework problems and WebAssign. Thank you so much for paying attention.